Welcome back to the disturbing part of the internet, episode 3. The last 2 episodes definitely blew up, thanks a lot for the support. For this one, I decided to cover 4 topics. Some of these go pretty deep, while others lack information. I also am still accepting requests for this format, so if you have something that you want me to cover, please let me know on my socials. Also, only a very small percentage of you guys are subbed to the channel, which is crazy to see. Please, if you like my content, make sure to subscribe. It really helps out a lot. I also want to state that this video is purely educational and is within the YouTube guidelines. Without further ado, let's dive into our first topic. This one was recommended by Kevin McFlyer on Instagram. Thanks a lot for reaching out. This topic dates back to December 2009 and took place in Russia. In 2012, a video with the title "Lame Horse: Last Hours of the Club" was uploaded to YouTube. This seems like the earliest version of this video. Here you can see people being interviewed in a club. Everyone is in a great mood, enjoying their evening or night. More than 300 people attended this party. So, why did I pick this entry? What do you imagine happened within hours after this interview? Half of the people within the club have been killed. They were burned alive or suffocated, hours after they have been interviewed. How come? In 2016, a near-identical video was uploaded titled "Permian: Fire in the Club, Lame Horse. 156 people burned alive." The description reads, "Remember that in the night from 4 to 5 a.m. on December 2009 in the Perm nightclub Lame Horse, a fire has emerged from an incorrect installation of pyrotechnics with violations of fire safety rules. This tragedy killed 156 people. They could not get out of the club's premise due to strong smoke and burned in the club. Remember that you live once. Take care of yourself and appreciate life." This is a rough translation, but I think it gets the point across. There's a video available on YouTube where you can see the building catching fire and everyone panicking. The video has been age restricted, so I cannot show it here. I can show some screenshots, which do not depict anything of graphic nature. But the footage itself is honestly disturbing. The screams, the chaos, and people providing first aid to save others who were on the verge of suffocation and so on. This user says, "Looks like a horror movie," which definitely is accurate. A news outlet in 2014 called TV Center covered this case in a video. Besides this video, this case didn't seem to receive any coverage internationally. There are 2 main blog posts in poor English that give explanations. It looks like an article straight from Google Translate. I will swiftly go through the main things mentioned on these. According to the blog post, most of the victims were young adults. Some of them had children. Over 20 of them were left orphans after this incident. A charity was set up and funded by ordinary people to relieve the children that were left behind. 3 to 4 million rubles, which roughly are $50,000, were divided into the families of children who lost their parents, but even that money wasn't fairly split. People who clearly had no money problems still received financial support, while others were left out. That's at least how I understood the article. A different article details the depressing stories and lives of the survivors. 27-year-old Irina didn't suffer from the burn, but inhaled a lot of carbon monoxide, essentially leaving her brain dead. She barely is able to move and is extremely thin. Her being this underweight leaves her in a very critical condition. The lack of financial support by the government or by people responsible for this accident makes this entire situation even more frustrating. This is one of many stories. Most of the victims lack the financial needs for a proper treatment or to feed their families. Some bank details to support them are listed on the website. Over 2 months ago, there was a very interesting post on the subreddit Mystery, which reads, "This image of a little girl, boy, and karate instructor keeps popping up when searching random keywords on a Discord image bot. Reverse image searching brings up some really messed up results. Can anyone help finding the source of what this is and why the results are so disturbing?" This was one of 3 posts. The post has been deleted, but it contained a few images. A different user made another post on the same subreddit. It reads, "Mysterious set of images, mostly of an unidentified man, appear all over the internet. Can anyone help?" This time, we can see the content of the post. It contains 3 images. The first one depicts a guy. The second one depicts possibly the same guy and 2 children. You can't really see their expressions, but the children and the guy look fairly uncomfortable in this image. The third image possibly is the same guy again. Speculations under the post were running wild. Some say that they feel freaked out by looking at the images and even asked whether the FBI looked into it, while someone else describes the unsettling tone of the second image. Others had crazy theories, such as this one. While I agree that the images look somewhat odd or even unsettling, this seems like a reach. The original poster provided a bit more info in the comments. It reads, "Over the course of a few months, me and some other people have found several images, mostly related to this man. We haven't been able to identify any of these. Most of these images lead to dead sites, viruses, and old websites. As far as we know, this is no coincidence. These images are on these websites for some reason and not just by chance." Investigating this and coming up with a few leads was fairly easy. Reverse image searching the images on Yandex or Google will lead you to websites that OP already mentioned. Interestingly, the image of the children was also posted on obscure. This looks very shady. Numerous websites like these pop up the longer and deeper you dig into this. Some links lead to supposed family members or even martial arts dojos from the guy shown in the pictures, but it's hard to confirm whether this is coincidental or if he really is a part of these dojos. One leads to a YouTube channel called Peter Info, which features a lot of martial arts content like this one. It's not a very well made video since it's from 2007, but nothing really sketchy is going on this channel. Still, the guy in question seems to somehow be connected to this channel, even though I couldn't find him in the videos or anywhere else. On other websites, we can find numerous pictures and a lot of links, as well as a lot of text. Numerous websites were in this fashion. It just appears to be a massive amount of spam. Looking at all of this, 2 possibilities seem very reasonable. Either these kids have been trafficked, or someone stole the images from somewhere and posted them on not safe for work websites. Both are definitely disgusting, but the second possibility is definitely more welcome than the first one. Some questions remain unanswered. If we assume that these pics are just randomly posted on obscure websites, what is the intention behind that? Are the people in these images aware of what is happening? In the last Reddit post on Internet Mysteries, we can see one more picture, which could be the same guy. After this, people took the investigation to Discord. I hopped on an alt account and also was investigating this with them. We managed to receive some answers. We found out who this guy is. His name is Arno. I'm not giving out his full name here. He also has a Twitter account which only has one tweet, which appears to be in Portuguese. We quickly managed to find people that appeared to be his own children. Then me and someone else contacted the daughter twice, and both interactions were very similar. We asked her if she knows who the people on the image are. The daughter confirmed that the pictures indeed showed her, her brother, and her father. Her father passed away 5 years ago. She then requested the links leading to the websites and wants to get rid of the images on there. So this pretty much confirms that the children are well and alive while the father passed away. The reason as to why these pictures were chosen and spammed on these websites remains inconclusive. The following entry is a video that I wanted to cover earlier. This is my last video that I saved prior to LiveLeak shutting down. This will be a very short entry. Before I talk about it, let's take a look. On item fix, there is a short explanation. It reads, "As it turned out, the 59-year-old driver of the car stopped on the slope for unknown reasons and got out of the car. The car at that moment rolled down the mountain where there were tourists in tents. A man and his son managed to get out of the tent in a second. The examination showed that the driver of the Skoda was sober. So no one was hurt, but the more mysterious part about this video is the driver stopping his car and getting out on the slope for unknown reasons. Also, if the people didn't react on time, this could have been very, very dark. The cameraman filmed the entire situation a few seconds prior to the incident. It is likely that the cameraman had the feeling that something may happen, but I couldn't find any update on this." I first stumbled across this topic 4 months ago. It dates back to December of last year. A 4chan thread on the X-Files was created. It reads, "Reminder, this post is not intended to harass any individuals regardless of how vile their actions may be. This thread is dedicated to discussing and remembering the Nexpo tapes and the incident that took place with it. The video is incredibly difficult to come by, so if you remember it, please share the details you remember. The image of that cemetery haunts me to this day. And if you have the video, be careful sharing it. The feds will take it down anyways." Another anon described the entire situation. It reads, "What happened in the incident? It has been established that Nexpo and his friends, a shack, a cemetery, animals and children are involved. There are at least 15 videos. One was shot on an iPhone camera, others are in higher quality. We cannot go into the more disturbing details here, but feel free to read the archive threads. Which part of this is illegal? Mere discussion of the events breaks no law. However, if you happen to be in possession of any of the footage, please turn yourself in to the authorities. Why is Nexpo not in jail? Nexpo is cooperating with the FBI to get the videos off the deep web. Nexpo has paid shills patrolling X now. If anyone in these posts is here solely to accuse posters of lying, ignore them. Disagreement is unavoidable. Many anons were exposed to the videos and remember different things. Please accept this, and together we can put together an accurate understanding of what happened. As was said before, if you have any footage, we strongly urge you to not turn yourself in to the authorities. Overall, a lot of anons refuse to give more detailed descriptions of the video content itself. Everything is very vague. The reasoning for that is that the tapes simply depict too disturbing stuff to discuss online. However, one user gives a very detailed reply. It reads, "I don't even care if the feds get me. Did anyone else see the shack videos? The first video started with a man wearing a weird mask over his face, who I can only assume is Ryan, and 2, maybe 3 of his friends all outside a shack. One of them starts laughing and then says go. The masked figure, again definitely Ryan from his voice, screamed 'I'm home' and kicked down the shack door. You could hear muffled screams and whimpers of some animals. As the camera showed the interior of the shack, it was lined wall to wall with kidnapped women, men, children and a few animals, some dead, some alive. The video was about 12 to 14 minutes long and consisted of him cutting off body parts from some victims, mainly fingers, toes, ears, and force-feeding it to other captives. To finish it off, there was some bodies in the closet that he skinned and showed off. The second tape was very short, but twice as disturbing. It showed a gigantic pile of bodies, likely the ones from before in a field. Many of the bodies were mutilated. Now, in pretty much all of the comments that Anon share, they mention a cemetery. In a different thread, someone shared an unlisted video from Nexpo called Haunted Cemetery Exploration. Supposedly, in the same location the incident occurred. I got in contact with a few Anons, and they gave me an onion link. I hopped on a virtual machine and downloaded the file that was available on the website. It's really bad, but we should watch it together. You can't really see much in the video since it was recorded at night, but the screams are terrifying. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but if you really thought that this is real, especially coming from 4chan, then I don't know, man. It was a very bad troll, poor in taste, not very innovative, but I would lie if I wasn't intrigued randomly stumbling across this post for the first time. Some of the Anons also seem to be haters. I don't know their intention behind creating this troll, maybe just for fun, but Nexpo also already acknowledged the existence of these posts and seems to find some humor in it. X definitely is not what it used to be. The last real interesting topic was the cult of Saturn, but that dates back almost 10 years ago and was mostly forgotten. On a different note, my last episode has been age restricted and my appeal was rejected within 5 minutes. A 20-minute video was supposedly reviewed by a human being in 5 minutes. The reason for the age restriction was self-harm. Not a single second of my video featured self-harm. My iceberg video was also deleted for the same reason and then quickly reinstated. The problem about age restrictions is that citizens from most European countries need to provide a passport in order to watch the video. This is why I synced my channel to RDC, a more private platform where a lot more freedom exists. If you want to watch all of my videos and future videos, I highly recommend clicking on the first link in the description or comment section and following me on the website. It's completely free and just works like YouTube. This is the first and last time I'll mention RDC in a video, since this is only a temporary solution. Anyway, that's it with the video. If you have any topic recommendations, let me know on my socials or on Reddit. Thanks a lot for watching, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.